So that was a couple years ago. So we're in 2025 now. And during all of this time, I still didn't like giving hepatitis B vaccines. So I found a way out of that. I started giving mothers informed consent. I said, hey, you don't have hepatitis B. The only way your baby could get hepatitis B is if you had it, or if your baby has sex with someone who has hepatitis B. Now, a lot of babies don't go out as soon as they leave the hospital.
Or a needle.
Right, or needles, yeah. And I'm like, I could tell them that too, just to add to it. But I'm like, basically, your baby will not get hepatitis B. You don't get it from crawling around, putting dirt in your mouth. It's literally sexual transmission or dirty drug needles, heroin, stuff like that. Babies don't normally do that, right? And so I tell moms that. And every single time I give informed consent, the truth, they say, okay, I don't want that. Of course you don't. Who would?
So this is their first time they hear about it?
Yes, about hepatitis B. Yep. So I'm telling them.
Lots of parents giving Hep B vaccine to their kids don't even think about it.
Right, because the doctor comes in and says, okay, your baby needs a hepatitis B vaccine, so they won't get hepatitis B. And the parents are like, okay, well, you're a doctor. I trust you because you wear a lab coat. And then they let them inject their baby with hepatitis B vaccines. And
doctors know that.
They should know that. They're doctors.
And they do that simply because of the financial incentive?
Yes. They do not care. That they believe that they're safe and effective. They believe that the vaccine is going to do the baby some good. And it's not. It's absolute poison. So I tell mothers in a transparent way, this is how you would get hepatitis B. Your baby's not at risk. And 99.9% of them say, okay, I don't want it. Perfect. Good. So I've been telling all the other nurses that too. And then this is over the last couple of years. So a couple months ago, I completed a functional medicine program online, and I learned a lot. And that program that I took, the particular one, she goes really in depth with vaccine injuries. And so I really appreciate it because there's not a lot of resources for vaccine injury help, and it's definitely needed, because a lot of people are injured. And so this program, she goes all into it. And there's a page that has the childhood vaccines, and it has the aluminum content in each vaccine. And it says for hepatitis B, there's 250 micrograms of aluminum. So I just barely learned this fact a couple months ago. And then it says, based on the FDA recommendations and the CDC website, do not inject more than 18 micrograms into an infant's body. So the hepatitis B already is 10 times more than what's safe according to the CDC website. So that is a huge safety signal. And so I've been telling moms not to get the hepatitis B vaccine. So many moms have been refusing that shot that they had to have a meeting at work, and they said the nurses are giving biased information because all these moms are refusing the Hep B shot. I'm like, that's so beautiful to hear, because that means I've been telling all these nurses about the hepatitis B, and a lot of the nurses are even trying to get out of it now too, because they're uncomfortable giving it, because I've been pounding it into their brain.
You know.
Yes, now you know. You're a nurse, you should know. And you should know what you're putting into your patient's body, especially a newborn, especially if it's not safe. And so a couple months ago, a family member complained and said that this nurse, Michelle, is giving biased information. She's giving misinformation. She's talking these mothers out of giving the hepatitis B vaccine. She told my sister that the only way your baby can get hepatitis B is if she has sex with someone who has hepatitis B. And so my boss called me into her office, and she told me all that right now, the complaint. And I said, yes, that's true. And I think my boss was like expecting me to say, oh, I didn't do that, or something. And I was like, yeah, that's true. I said, every time a nurse gives an injection of hepatitis B vaccine, they are chemically assaulting that baby. They are giving 250 micrograms of aluminum when the FDA says do not give more than 18 micrograms. And my boss looked at me and she said, it's not about your beliefs, Michelle. It's about what's required of you per the institution.
No, but this is science.
I know.
The FDA says 18. You're giving 250. But that's science.
I know. I've said no. Every time a nurse gives that shot, they are chemically assaulting a baby. We were taught to do no harm. This is causing harm. And she said, again, I know you have your beliefs, Michelle, but you need to do what's required of you per the institution. Does that not sound like follow the orders? So I was so frustrated.
And she's what? She's
the manager of the entire
Is
women's
she a doctor
floor.
herself?
No, she's a nurse.
Okay.
But of the entire women's floor, the labor and delivery floor, the antepartum and postpartum, and all of women's health in there. She's the manager, the top one. And so she said, if you have questions, you can go to the head pediatrician and you can give her your information. I said, okay, I'll do that. I went to the head pediatrician and I told her exactly what I just told my boss. And she said, oh, no, the aluminum in those shots isn't the same one on that paper that you just showed me. It's not a neurotoxin. I'm sorry, but which aluminum is not a neurotoxin? I was so confused. But
why aluminum is needed in the first place?
Right.
It's a
heavy metal.
It's a preservative for the vaccine,
yes,
right?
Yeah, they say it's a preservative. So, but it's a heavy metal. It doesn't belong in your body. It's a heavy metal. You don't need it in your brain. And to give 10 times the safe dose to every newborn that doesn't need it, it's craziness. I don't even have the words for this madness.
So a parent can be investigated for not giving their child a vaccine, but a parent cannot be investigated if he's giving all the vaccine to his child, right? But this is not informed consent for that baby. Yeah. Because a baby is an individual. Yes, he's like 2 days old or 2 months, 2 years old. Yeah. A baby cannot make a decision, but it will affect his or her life in the future.
Exactly. And if you were to spoon feed that amount of aluminum into a baby's mouth, you would go to jail for poisoning your baby.
For 250 micrograms.
Yes.
So you can't eat it, but you can inject it.
Yes, that's what they do.
Make it make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It will never make sense. And bottom line is, you cannot pay me enough to harm a baby. You can't. And that's how every single nurse should think. So we're taught if a drug is too much, the dose is too high, and you question that, you're supposed to ask questions because you want to make sure it's safe for the patient. So that's exactly what I'm doing.
So let's say a baby is being born, let's say 10 pounds, and another baby is born, let's say 6 pounds.
Right.
They're getting the same vaccine, the same amount of all the ingredients.
Yes.
6 pounds and 10 pounds.
Yes, there's a big difference there, yes. And they're getting the same dose. And that paper, that particular one from my functional nursing program, it says for an 8-pound baby, do not give more than 18 micrograms. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's
so
crazy.
So if it's 6 pounds, so it's 20% less of the body weight.
Right.
So it's like 15 micrograms.
So the dose is more.
But they're still getting 250.
Yes.
Make it make sense.
Yes, it doesn't make sense. And then when you go to the doctor for the well visits, they give more shots. By the time the baby's like 6 years old, they give like 70 shots now. And every single shot has aluminum. Some of them have mercury.
Yeah, but there are multiple shots in one shot.
Right. And some have formaldehyde and polysorbate 80, all this toxic stuff that you don't put in a living body. Formaldehyde, sure, you can put it in a dead body to preserve their body, make them look waxy. But you don't put that in a living being.
So you want to tell me that the science can't figure out another preservative, more safe preservative than mercury, aluminum, and formaldehyde?
They don't want to. If this was about health, they would not do this in the first place. This isn't about health. It's about control and money.
Have you ever seen a side effect instantly after giving a vaccine to a kid?
Personally, no, I haven't, because I haven't given another vaccine since orientation. But my lawyer sent me a picture of a baby that received a hepatitis B vaccine, and the baby swelled up really big.
A few things before we start. First of all, I believe YouTube is going to either demonetize this video or even erase it from its platform. But if you're still seeing this, it means it's still on YouTube. So please like this video right now, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already, and please share this episode with all your friends, peers, and loved ones. It's crucial to spread the word. It's to spread the truth. Number 2, guys, I don't have any sponsors. So if you want to support my work, please become a member of our community. There is going to be a link down below. Click the link and become a member of our community. And this is the best way how you can support my channel and my work. The whole point of my podcast is to listen to other opinions and to tell the truth. And you can be part of it. And now, let's get back to the podcast with the one and only Michelle. And what happened next?
The baby died. But there's another whistleblower
A few days old.
Yes. And there's another whistleblower that she said she works in the NICU, and anytime they were going to give a vaccine, they'd have to have the crash cart nearby because they knew the baby would possibly decline. So there's definitely instances where that's happened. But like, I don't give vaccines. I talk to mothers. I give them informed consent so they don't end up getting the vaccine.
So newborns have to receive HEP B and DTaP? Or DTaP is not for newborns,
right
but
now they
a
just
few
get
months old.
Yeah, it's when they're a little older. They right now in the hospital they give hepatitis B vaccines. So they also give vitamin K shots as soon as they're born, which are also very toxic and unnecessary and possibly dangerous. And
they're giving vitamin K for what?
They say it's to clot their blood so they don't bleed to death. But I know so many friends.
Why would they?
They wouldn't, because God didn't mess up.
Right.
But I know so many friends who did not receive vitamin K shots for their babies because I've been able to talk to them about it. And all their babies are thriving. And so vitamin K has alcohol in it as a preservative. So the alcohol taxes the liver and it potentially causes jaundice. And then
Is that jaundice?
Jaundice, where their liver excretes too many red blood cells. So it stresses out the liver, it makes them look yellow. And if the numbers get too high from the liver enzymes, they can have like seizures or other things. And so the liver gets taxed or overworked from the vitamin K shot, and then potentially increases jaundice, or the risk of jaundice. But it also has polysorbate 80, which is a surfactant, which is something they give to chemo patients that are going to receive drugs that go to their brain. So polysorbate 80 helps to open the blood-brain barrier, which is like very specific. Only certain molecules can go through there. The polysorbate 80 is in the vitamin K shot. They give that to the baby. It opens the blood-brain barrier so that these bigger molecules can pass through. Then within 12 hours, they give 10 times the amount of a heavy metal, aluminum. Where does it go? Straight to the blood-brain barrier, goes to their brain. A heavy metal to their brain. Why do we have such a big problem with autism right now?
What's the official reason why they put polysorbate 80 in that shot?
They say it's a preservative for the vitamin K.
Why don't they put it in food? Let's say yogurt. It's a preservative. It's cool.
They probably do put it in some foods, but they put it in Miralax. So Miralax is also
What is that?
toxic. It's a medication to help you have a bowel movement from constipation.
For kids?
They give it to kids. They give it to both. Every time I go to work, there's a dead baby. They only needed one shot for them to deliver a dead baby because it was March and April of 2021 that all of a sudden we started having mothers come in, and no matter what gestation they were in, they were delivering dead babies. In the ones that are making it to birth, the babies, I've seen babies born without limbs, missing fingers and toes. There's babies that are born with respiratory issues, cardiac issues. There's been some that have had like 3 or 4 miscarriages.
3 or 4?
Yes.
Since 2021?
Yes. I've asked other nurses, hey, will you speak out with me? You see these babies are being born dead. You know it's the COVID vaccine. Can you guess what they all tell me? I'm sorry, but I can't lose this job. So what they're saying is, I will sacrifice babies knowingly for money. One of my nurse friends said they went back and they checked because of my investigation. All of the fetal demise, the babies, she checked, and it was like 90% of the dead babies had mothers that had received the COVID vaccine. I finally got in there to take her off life support. She was tied up in restraints and she had had her teeth knocked out.
What?
Yeah. When they killed my mom, I told my brother, I said they messed with the wrong nurse. They shouldn't have killed our mother. And they will pay for this. So that's something I will never forget.
This is the list of all the meds she was on.
Yeah.
On each and every
That's
position.
enough to kill an entire army.
So this woman, 42, was on these drugs.
Yes.
On all of them.
Yes.
And she said, I'm hungry, can you please
Yes.
feed me? They denied.
Yes. She had been denied water for 7 days. Because
But what kind of animals
I know.
work there?
I know.
Big Pharma.
Yeah.